Okay, today's June 13th. I think this is the American contractor coming to you with another uh, breaking story. What's happening in the Syria? Remember, it's all going to start in Syria, folks. It's not going to start anywhere else. Here's the headline of this week's or today's, actually June 11th article from SputnikNews.com. U.S. coalition strikes in al-Tanf could spark escalation in Syrian war. On June 8th, the United States-led coalition attacked a motorcade of pro-Damascus allied forces near the town of al-Tanf in southern Syria, destroying a tank and several artillery systems. This is not the first time coalition strikes have occurred in the area. Now, you notice in the past videos that I've published, I've warned you guys that the United States will engage if you cross the boundaries of what they set forth. If you go close to the al-Tanf base where the U.S. coalition forces are and British coalition forces and probably other countries as well. But they already told you, they already warned you, and I did tell you that Russia will not intervene at all. They'll allow the strikes to happen. Let's go on with this article. In southern Syria, this morning, the United States conducted strikes against two technical vehicles, pickup trucks with weapons that were assessed to be posing a threat to coalition and partner forces. Based at al-Tanf garrison, coalition spokesperson U.S. Army Colonel Ryan Dillon said. He also said that the U.S. downed a drone that allegedly fired on coalition forces. So not only have the convoy, you also have the drone firing on the al-Tanf U.S. British base. On May 18th, the U.S.-led coalition struck pro-Assad fighters near al-Tanf in the area of an established deconfliction zone with Russia. The strikes occurred near al-Tanf, where U.S. and British Special Operations Forces have been training Syrian rebel fighters near the border with Iraq and Jordan. The second similar incident took place near al-Tanf on June 6th. The U.S. State Department said that strike was carried out as self-defense and was not indicative of an escalation. Quote, "We do not see this as an escalation," U.S. State Department spokesperson Heather Nauert said at a briefing on Thursday. In an interview with Radio Sputnik, political analyst and expert on the Middle East Anatoly El-Moured suggested the Pentagon is trying to designate the area the U.S. wants to keep de facto under control. Quote, "The Americans have long been training militants there for over a year and a half. Currently, this group controls a large strip of Syria's border in the south. All the parties involved are now trying to take control of as many territories as possible," El-Moured said. Well, we're just trying to protect our U.S. forces, and they already warned you guys, if you come near this, you're going to get engaged. What's the problem? The analyst also expressed concern that such attacks by the U.S.-led coalition risk triggering uncontrollable escalation of the conflict. Quote, this is from El-Moured. "The situation is getting tenser. Probably so-called systematic actors will join the game, and any party involved, including U.S. troops or Russian forces, would risk coming under fire. The conflict could start escalating at any moment, and its escalation will be uncontrolled. This is very dangerous," El-Moured said. Well, we already know there's communications between the Russian government, Russian military, and the U.S. military. So they're going to stay out of each other's way. I'm sure that when the United States attacks those convoys, the Russians already know what's going to happen because there's communications there. Now, let's go to another article here. Breaking Iran on verge of land link to the Mediterranean. Here you have the leader. He's not blacked out here. You have the leader of the IRGC, Qasem al-Soleimani, who's alive and well. Breaking Iran on verge of land link to Mediterranean. This is dated June the 12th. It's today. Actually, yesterday. For the first time since the Islamic Revolution of 1979, Iran is on the verge of acquiring a direct land link to the Mediterranean Sea and southern Lebanon. Iranian proxies and Assad regime forces advanced south in the Syrian desert on Friday to reach the Syrian-Iraqi border, cutting off Free Syrian Army rebels who had hoped to traverse that same territory to fight ISIS in the east. Barring a Pentagon-backed rebel counterattack, Iranian proxies are now on pace to complete their corridor through a combination of advances south on the Iraqi side of the border and advances north and east on the Syrian side. On the Iraqi side, Iran-linked Popular Mobilization Forces (PMF) groups reached the border in a lightning offensive last month. The Institute of Study of War Records records that before the offensive, PMF groups had already attained a direct line of control from the Iran-Iraq border to Tel Afar, their forward position on the eve of the lightning offensive. Now, a similar lightning offensive has occurred on the Syrian side of the border. The Iranian pro-regime media station Tasnim News released multiple photos today from the Syrian-Iraqi border showing IRGC Quds Force head Qasem Soleimani alongside members of the Fatamin Brigade, which is a force of Afghani foreign fighters in Syria. Did you hear that? Afghani foreign fighters in Syria. So I guess everybody can come. Backed by RGC, Iran-backed militias from Iraq, including the Imam Ali battalions and the Imam Bakir Brigade and the Jihad Brigades, had all increased their presence in the Syrian desert in the weeks prior to last Friday's advance. While many miles still separate the Iran-backed militias in northeastern Iraq and southwestern Syria, the militias are highly likely to link up if only ISIS-held territory stands in their way. Iranian and Assad regime forces were able to make rapid gains against ISIS in the Aleppo suburbs after boxing in rebels' forces in the area of al-Bab town. This past Friday, rebel forces in the Syrian desert might have been boxed in a similar fashion. So what's happening is, now you see what's happening. Al-Tanf is in the way of the Iranians having that direct link. The United States, British, other coalition forces, they're in that little territory that they don't want to lose control of because they don't want that direct link to the Mediterranean that the Iranian wants. The Iranian government wants to have that. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. We'll see. But you got to do something about the U.S. forces that are in the southeastern region of Syria, close to the Iraqi border. And then there's another units close to the Jordanian border. So you got to do something about them. Don't know what they're going to do about that. So U.S.-led coalition forces are hanging on strong. And if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Google is still censoring the channel. I don't care about that. Just trying to get out the word, get out the truth, what's going on. And if you like, say, give me a thumbs up for the video. And stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.